Thomas Alive to Die presents
Tower Records. In 1960, Russell Solomon opened the first Tower Records store on Broadway in Sacramento, California. He named it for his father's drugstore, which shared a building and name with the Tower Theater, where Solomon first started selling records. The first standalone Tower Records store was located at 2514 Watt Avenue in Arden Arcade, a suburb of Sacramento. By 1976, Solomon had opened Tower Books posters and plants at 1600 Broadway, next door to another Sacramento Tower Records location. In 1995, Tower.com opened, making the enterprise one of the first retailers to move online. 7 years after its founding, Tower Records expanded to San Francisco, opening a store in what was originally a grocery store at Bay Street and Columbus Avenue. In 1979, Tower Records in Japan started its business as the Japan branch of MTS Incorporated. The following year, Sapporo Store, the first in Japan, opened. The chain eventually expanded internationally to include stores in Japan, United Kingdom, Canada, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, the Philippines, Ireland, Israel, United Arab Emirates, Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, and Argentina. The Tower Records stores in Japan split off from the main chain and are now independent. Arguably the most famous Tower Records outlet was the purpose-built building that company staff general contracted, with many personally contributing their labor, which opened in 1971 on the northwest corner of Sunset Boulevard and Horn Avenue in West Hollywood. In New York City, Tower Records operated a suite of stores on and near Lower Broadway in Greenwich Village. The main store was located at the southeast corner of East 4th Street and Broadway. The Tower Records Annex was in the same building, located at the southwest corner of East 4th and Lafayette Street. The third store, Tower Video, was located on the southeast corner of East 4th and Lafayette Street and specialized in videos and books. Their location on the Upper West Side near Lincoln Center on 66th Street and Broadway was a magnet for those working in the field of musical theater. There was also a location in the basement of Trump Tower and a small clearance annex on 86th Street on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. The Nashville location on West End Avenue across from Vanderbilt University was in a former Packard dealership. The old showroom floor in front was devoted to CDs, cassettes, and vinyl. The area in the back housed video cassette sales and rentals, PC and console games, and music paraphernalia. The strip mall next door contained a separate Tower Books. The location was famous for their late-night Monday events that culminated at midnight on Tuesday, when staff started ringing up sales of new releases. Because of the store's proximity to Music Row, country music stars could occasionally be seen performing or shopping there. As part of a 2002 settlement with 41 states over CD price fixing, Tower Records, along with retailers Musicland and Trans World Entertainment, agreed to pay a $3 million fine. It is estimated that between 1995 and 2000, customers were overcharged by nearly $500 million and up to $5 per album. In 2005, the company began using scan and listen stations in its stores. These stations allowed customers to listen to audio samples from CDs and to search for particular songs, albums, and artists. This model of listening station is still used at the Arizona-based chain Zia Records. In 2006, the company introduced the Tower Insider program. The program was free of charge and allowed a customer to receive a membership card that could be scanned with each purchase, allowing the customer to receive coupons and notification of special deals via email. In addition to compact discs and cassette tapes, the stores sold DVDs, electronic gadgets like MP3 players, video games, accessories, and toys, and a few Tower Records locations sold books as well, such as those in Brea, Mountain View, and Sacramento, California, as well as stores in Austin, Boston, Massachusetts, Nashville, New York City, Portland, Oregon, and Seattle. In 1983, the company began publishing a music magazine, Pulse, which contained record reviews and interviews. Initially, it was given away free in their stores to promote their record sales. After 9 years in 1992, the magazine began national distribution with a cover price of $2.95, but it was canceled when the company discontinued U.S. operations. From 1983 until December 2002, Tower Records published 222 monthly issues. Tower Records entered Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the first time in 2004. Factors cited were the heavy debt incurred during its aggressive expansion in the 1990s, growing competition from mass discounters and internet piracy. Mismanagement, managerial incompetence, and crippling restrictions from the first bankruptcy deal also contributed to Tower's demise. Some observers took a pragmatic view. As Robert Moog, inventor of the Moog synthesizer, has stated, "I'm sorry if Tower Records and Blockbuster's sales plummet." On the other hand, it wasn't that long ago that those megastore chains drove a lot of neighborhood record stores out of business. In February 2004, the debt was estimated to be between $80 million and $100 million, and assets totaled just over $100 million. On August 20, 2006, Tower Records filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy for the second time in order to facilitate a purchase of the company prior to the holiday shopping season. On October 6, 2006, Great American Group won an auction of the company's assets and commenced liquidation proceedings the following day. This included going out of business sales at all U.S. Tower Records locations, the last of which closed on December 22, 2006. The Tower Records website was sold separately. The managers of FYE, a music store chain based in shopping malls, had negotiated a deal to acquire the two historic Tower locations in the latter's home base of Sacramento. FYE later backed out, stating that the leases aren't what we thought they were. FYE did acquire the lease of the West End Avenue store in Nashville, which eventually closed in 2011. FYE also took over Tower Records in Torrance, which continued to operate until early 2016. Rasputin Music, a new and used music and video store based in the San Francisco Bay Area, expanded in the Central Valley of California by acquiring the leases for the former Tower Records stores in Fresno and Stockton. Online merchant Caymanang reopened the website from Montreal, Quebec on June 1, 2007. This company also announced plans to reopen the stores themselves, opening stores in Los Angeles, New York, and San Francisco within the next 9 months. However, this never came to fruition. They hired former Tower buyer Kevin Hawkins to assist with the reopening. Hawkins, along with former Tower employee George Scarlett, then left Cayman. In 2009, Richard Flynn was hired as president. The website remained based in Montreal, but the relaunch of the brand never moved forward. As of November 2020, Tower Records reopened their online store with a new website, once again selling vinyl records among other merchandise, which also features an online version of Pulse that is updated regularly. The 2015 documentary All Things Must Pass by filmmaker Colin Hanks chronicles the rise and fall of Tower Records using archival footage and exclusive interviews with former staff, especially Russell Solomon and former crew Stan Goman, as well as celebrity customers Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, and Dave Grohl. Another documentary called Art Gods from 2013 is an oral history of the development of an influential in-store display design ethic at Tower, originating from the Berkeley location.
Store in the known world universe is here in Los Angeles. It is, and it's called Tower Records. And Tower Records is located in the heart of the Sunset Strip. At Tower, you'll find tens of thousands of your favorite LPs and tapes and a few drunk pop stars. And you'll find that they are all super discount priced. Tower will always save you money on the LPs and tapes you buy. You'll find more rock LPs than you ever thought existed, and that includes more imported rock LPs. You'll find more jazz, more classics, more easy listening, more country, more international, more spoken word, more of everything than you've ever seen in one store at one time. It sounds like heaven. And you'll find thousands of 45 RPM singles. In short, the largest record store in the known universe lives up to its name. Shop Tower Records in the heart of Sunset Strip tonight and every night of the year until midnight. It is a good place. And Tower will have my latest album this afternoon, so go get it.
If you have any fond memories, please indicate it at the comments below. Thanks for watching.